a place called McKinney, Texas. So I want to introduce to you Brandy Rupert. And Brandy's going to tell you her and her husband Will's story. Brandy, take it away.
Well, thank you so much for allowing me to get to share our journey that started 28 months ago. 28 months ago, Will and I were two full-time, broke parents of our 3-year-old daughter. And at that time in our life, we got on products and we had amazing results. My husband lost 150 pounds and I gained my husband back. But what we needed in our life desperately was a financial breakthrough. And we always tell our daughter daily, champion choices lead to a champion life. And we know that our daughter deserves that life, and we weren't providing that for her. And because now we made that champion choice for her, we were able to pick our retirement date, which was February 14th. 30 years early, we retired, and our daughter does not know this yet, but we provided her the best Valentine's Day gift that she will ever get, and it's her mommy and daddy. And so I simply want to ask you, are you ready to make that champion choice today for your kids, for your wife, for other people in your life? And because we made that choice, AdvoCare this past month paid my husband and I $31,000. And that's not to brag on the money, that's to show you the lives that my husband and I have been able to empower. And there's no greater feeling to be able to see a husband and wife bring their husband home and see the tears in their eyes and their 3 boys saying, "Thank you for allowing my daddy to come home from his job." So I ask you today, what's the choice that you want to make in your life?
Well, that's beautiful, Brandy. And guys, you know what Brandy and everybody else is talking about? They're talking about average incomes, you know, not some big bonus checks, you know, that we got. So these are real stories from real people. And just think, remember I told you on the beginning of the call, these people have not, you know, been in this company very long. So you can tell just by listening to their stories, you know, what kind of timing you can have in your life right now as it relates to the business model of AdvoCare, because everybody wants to know about timing. You know, well, what's in it for me? You know, could I do well if I got involved in this business model? Well, there's probably no one better right now to articulate that message to you than someone who just right out a year ago, finally found out about AdvoCare. But they reached one of the highest levels in our company in less than 9 months out of Roanoke, Virginia, where there were not even any leaders in our company. They basically have been pioneering the state of Virginia and have only known about this company for a year. So I want to introduce to you from Roanoke, Virginia, Rachel Witt. Rachel, tell them your story.
Thank you, Danny. Guys, I am emotional. I'm an emotional mess this month because I think about where we were a year ago. And where we were a year ago, I was just looking to get healthy. I saw someone that I trusted have great results on AdvoCare products, and I knew that she wouldn't do anything crazy. And so I said yes. But my health journey, our products are amazing.
gave you a little bit of cliff notes up front, and I'll just tell you what our why was. What really caused us to take action, because I was a head football coach at a local high school in North Texas, and I was happy being a football coach. My dad was a coach. My whole background in life was football, and so that's all I could see. So I wasn't looking for vitamins. I wasn't looking for Advocare, but I was looking for extra money, because when you're $35,000 in debt and you're in Chapter 13 bankruptcy, and you live in a beat-up house and drive a beat-up car, you start waking up and realize there's got to be more to life than this. But really, what caused me and my wife to have our eyes wide open is that a couple of years before that, see, it really started a couple of years before. So that's what I want to end with tonight is my why. We'd never been out of the state of Texas. We came from lower middle class families, and my wife from a lower class family, and so we didn't have vacations. We didn't have a honeymoon when we got married, and so we had an opportunity to go. I had an opportunity to recruit some of my football players on a spring break ski trip, and I filled that bus up because I was able to take my wife. Me and my wife were able to go for free if I recruited a certain amount of boys on that bus to go skiing spring break. And we did that. We went to Colorado, and I got on top of a mountain on day one of that ski trip in 1994, and I stood on that mountain and looked at those Colorado skies, just the beautiful sun, bright blue skies, and the snow-capped mountains, and I started crying as a 28-year-old man. And I asked myself this question: why? Why am I 28 years old and this is the first time I ever stood on a mountain? And I vowed to myself that day that my kids would be on a mountain before they were 28 years old, and I could do better than what I was doing. And then that was the beginning of what led us into Advocare, because we were looking for extra finances, and that's what made all the difference. We took that $130 and made $6,500 our first month in Advocare in 1997. We made $140,000 our first year and became debt-free. That's because we went to work. This is a work program that you're going to find out about. And so you're going to want to get back with the person, that got you on this call tonight, and you're going to want to ask them, hey, so how does this all work? What is Advocare really all about? Show me the company, and they can put you right on, the right websites, whether it's workwithchampions.com or any other great website that is going to allow you to watch videos, whether it's Drew Brees or Jason Witten or other success stories or the pay plan or anything that relates to that, basically any question you might have, they can point you toward real video answers that you can see tonight. But the thing that I'm going to leave you with is this. I want you to ask yourself, really a simple question here. Based on what you're earning right now at this particular time, does your income line up with your dreams? And if it doesn't line up with your dreams, is Advocare worth looking at? Because if it's not Advocare, what is it? Because eventually you're going to have to look at something that's going to have to line up financially with your dreams. Because that's what we're looking for. We're looking for people that we can help build their dreams, whether it's $200 a month at a time, or $500 a month at a time, or $30,000 a month at a time. But see, we can validate it all. We can validate the $200 a month dream for someone. But we can also validate a $350,000 a month dream for someone. So really, you have a broad scope of financial opportunity to dream from. They can all be validated in the world of Advocare. So what it's going to take now from you is getting back with that person and say, look, I want to find out how to get on these products. I want to find out how all of this business really works so I can see if this opportunity is for me and my better future. Thanks for joining us on this call. Get back with those people who invited you on this call, and God bless you.